We are back with culture and etiquette expert Sharon Schweitzer discussing the best practices when attending all kinds of different events and just regular everyday life. This person is asking, how much should you spend on a second cousin for a wedding or baby shower when you don't even know them? Is it ugly to not even acknowledge the invitation?
It's always best to acknowledge the happy occasion. With a card, maybe a very small or modest check is fine, but I would encourage you to always acknowledge a joyful occasion.
Okay. On the flip side of things, we're going to talk about maybe some culture and etiquette when it comes to funerals. So often we feel like we are at a loss for any really good words, comforting words to be able to say to anyone. What is the best way to reach out to those who have had a loss?
Many people don't even remember what has happened right after they lose someone very close to them. It is so shocking and emotional. There are a number of things you can do. First of all, definitely find out what it is that the grieving family and spouse and friends would like. Many times they're trying to put together a group to help take care of errands, tasks, yard work. Maybe have some prepared. If the deceased really liked flowers and they're having a memorial, order beautiful floral arrangements. The other thing that you can do is if you have photos and cherished things from the deceased, you may want to put together a scrapbook or a memory book or an electronic set of photos and give it to the family. Many times they really appreciate that. You may have photos that they've never seen or happiness and joyful occasions that they didn't even know their departed, dearly departed attended. The other thing you can do is maybe put together a poem or a song, some handwritten things. One of the most meaningful gifts I ever received were copies of my grandmother's handwritten recipes, and I cherish those and I put them into a bound cookbook. I was so happy to receive those and to see her handwriting and the way different words people use in different generations. Instead of shortening or oil, it's lard and things like that. So you can really bring back some wonderful memories for people if you stop and think about what do you have that may help them move through the grief and cherish the memories if you look at what your own treasures are.
That's a sweet thought. There is another question about funerals. This person says, what's the appropriate amount for a person who is officiating a funeral?
That depends on the policies for the officiant. Sometimes they will not take any honorarium at all. Sometimes they say the standard is $250 or $300. It really depends on the region, the economics, the cost of living, and the facility. So I would inquire and ask.
Recently, you said that you have seen what you thought was maybe a disturbing new trend at funerals.
Yes, people are taking photographs at memorial services or funerals, and they haven't asked permission to do that first. And the grieving family is really upset about that. They do not want photos taken with the deceased or at a sad event. They would prefer that you ask them or do it where they do not see that. And they certainly don't want to see photos like that posted online. It's really can be very emotionally triggering and upsetting for the family.
We talked about posting pictures with grads and asking them, hey, am I allowed to post this now? That has become a new trend that I have seen with weddings as well, that they're asking people not to post any kind of picture or any kind of video until they first post their own pictures, and that could be a week later.
Yes, that's right, Tanya. Many times the bride and groom will put a sign up that said, this is a phone-free, social media free zone. Please do not post any photos. And sometimes it takes a week or even 2 weeks, 3 weeks before they're back from the honeymoon. And it's really best to just acknowledge that. You don't want to be the one to upset the bride and groom and cause, unnecessary family drama.
Right. All right. We have about 1 minute. This person says, for a destination wedding that I'm attending, is my attendance enough for a wedding gift? This is very expensive for me.
That is a very, very common sentiment that many people have. And the answer is a wedding gift is always expected. You can do something that is very modest. Because the bride and groom know you're spending a lot to travel. So a modest gift, a nice card is fine.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your time and your expertise. We appreciate you keeping us on the straight and narrow.
My pleasure. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
All right, friends, if you listen to this or if you missed any of this and you're wondering what you should be doing in certain situations, we're going to be posting this in the Two Wants to Know section of our website.